Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Now, hopefully, you got a chance to watch our Metropolitan Division prediction video that we just released shortly ago. And now it's time for the Atlantic. Now, this is kind of our home.
It's our home division.
I'm a Canadiens fan. He's a Canadiens fan.
We're surrounded by salt water from the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. So, if you have seen it, then you would have seen our plan of why we're doing this in separate videos and stuff. So,
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, please go watch it, get informed, because I'm not going to go through the whole thing again here today. We're just going to kind of go through our predictions pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, you went first last time.
Right?
I'd like to go first again this time.
Okay.
And I'm going to write down your predictions and points, and then we can compare at the end, kind of like we did in the previous video.
Very good.
So, let's hear your Atlantic Division.
Top to bottom, Atlantic Division. I have the top team as the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are probably the deepest, most equivalent team straight across all the lineups in the National Hockey League, in the NHL. Just a little joke there. I think Cooper's got them firing in all cylinders. The team is only going to get better than it was last year. Guys like Sergachev are going to be better with another year of experience under their belt. I think it's a dangerous, dangerous team in the regular season, and I might have something to say about that when we get to our playoff video.
Interesting.
I have Tampa Bay with 110 points.
All right.
This year, and they are going to finish first in the Atlantic. So there we go. That's all we need to know. We can just go home now. No, we
it's
can't.
like that, is it?
Not quite. No, we can't, because they might walk away with the President's Trophy, but I don't think they're going to walk away with any other trophies. And more to come on that one.
All right.
I have a feeling. Next is Toronto. The Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they're going to be very strong. They had a great season last year, and that's before they got Tavares. And that's before they got Tyler Ennis. And the losses they've had from the roster, JVR and Bozak and some of these players, are players that were good enough to play in the Toronto Maple Leafs last year, but probably in the long term aren't Maple Leafs caliber players, considering all the other assets they've had, the Nylanders, the Marners, the Matthews, obviously. So I think that they've really, really beefed up the team. I think they're going to finish with a couple of points more than last year, just because the division and the league itself will be quite competitive. So I have them down for 107 points.
All right.
Definitely within striking distance in the last week of the season of the President's Cup. So,
I would agree with that statement.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, I have the Boston Bruins. I think the addition of Yaroslav Halak for a Rask-Halak tandem on the back at the goal position is a league probably best goalie tandem.
Oh, really?
I would think. Halak, I think...
That's a bold statement.
It's a bold statement. I think Halak is just going to hit his perfect peak right now. He's an experienced goalie with Montreal and the Islanders, but now he's with Boston. Neither one of them is going to, I think, be upset with the fact that they're not getting 60 or 70 starts.
St. Louis, too. He was with St. Louis for a bit.
That's right, he was, yeah.
I think you're right, though. I think he actually does fit in pretty well in Boston.
Yeah.
So.
And Boston's... Chara's a little old, but McAvoy, DeBrusk, and they've got this ongoing talent like Marchand, who, if he decides to...
Boston's scary.
...play with a little more wisdom, Boston is right up there with the rest of them. So I have them down for about 100 points. I think... contending with Boston for that third playoff seed in the Atlantic will be the Florida Panthers.
Oh, snap.
Florida is ready to break out and do some damage.
I like where this is going.
All right. So I have them down for 99 points.
Ooh.
I do.
All right.
I think adding Hoffman is a key piece, and I have this done. I've jiggled this a little bit because there's a certain playoff scenario I want to see pan out here.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So eventually, what I'm getting to, and what I will get to, is the way I have this jigged. I want Florida to be in that first wild card spot. I want them to play Tampa Bay. First round.
Well, you're going to be very interested in my playoff tree then.
Yeah. Next, I think they won't make the playoffs, but I think they will probably until the last month of the season. They'll be somewhat in contention, and that's the Buffalo Sabres. I think Buffalo looks a lot better this year than last, and certainly better than they have in a long time. They'll have Dahlin playing. They've got Skinner now.
They made a lot of positive moves.
They really did. They really did. And we talked, or you talked mostly about how Buffalo just had a little too much interference and stuff in the front office, and I think they've now, whatever they've done to resolve that, they've got some really good assets in. Connor Sheary's in there now.
Kane left.
Yeah,
So
Kane left.
A little bit of drama there, I think.
A little bit of drama, and he was an asset to where he went, but he was a bit of a subtraction talent-wise when he left, but it might have been an addition by subtraction in the dressing room.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that really looks good for Buffalo. Maybe not quite playoffs. I have 82 points.
82.
82.
So you went from 99 to 82. That's quite a substantial drop-off.
I think that's how the Atlantic looks.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I think the Atlantic is top-heavy, bottom-heavy, not a whole lot in the middle. Next is Montreal Canadiens. I think the Montreal Canadiens will actually improve a little bit on last year, but nowhere near enough to do what Montreal would want them to do, which is to squeak into the playoffs. I don't think that comes. I think Montreal ends up with about 77 points.
Okay.
They had, I think, 75 last year. Pacioretty was an addition by subtraction in a way, and so was Galchenyuk. They were both, there were chemical problems. I don't mean that, They were just human chemistry problems, not their fault necessarily, especially in the case of Pacioretty, not his fault, but there was just too many bridges had been burned, too many holes had been dug, and there's the only one way to solve that was to move these folks along.
Yeah, I agree.
A big, bright, shining light is the Montreal Canadiens announced this weekend that Kotkaniemi will begin the regular season with Montreal.
Cool.
And I think I want to see what this guy will do. He'll play 8 or 9 games at least before he goes back to Finland, and if he catches on, he'll stick around, like Mete did last year.
I'm glad that they're giving him a chance in the first couple of games. I do not want to see him play the whole season.
No.
I want him to go back to Finland.
Yeah. And of course, we have to worry about the 40-game thing with the contracts and how they kick in and all that. So I think ultimately we'll see him go back to Finland, but they clearly are demonstrating that they have enough faith in this young man that they're going to give him a crack.
Yeah, he had a pretty decent preseason.
Yeah, certainly did. So I think that's all good. It's all depending on Carey Price. If Carey Price decides to become the Carey Price of 5 years ago, then this prediction is wrong, and I'll be very happy that it's wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. Next, I have Detroit. Detroit with 73 points. I think, they've added Thomas Vanek. Does that get you excited about Detroit?
Not really, but at least Zetterberg was a big
loss.
Big experience boost.
Yeah.
Vanek has a lot of experience, so.
Yeah, he does, but poor Vanek, he's bounced around so much. In Montreal and then Minnesota, Vancouver. Now he's almost like a Yager. finding a place to play. Not quite in that situation yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Bernier, fine. But Detroit is, I think, just trying to tread water until some of their younger talent, their Athanasiou and
they get their cap situation worked out.
And get their cap situation worked out, which was largely resolved when we had the departure.
It's going to be a couple years of treading water, and then boom.
Yeah. But I'm going to like watching Detroit games. Like I like Larkin, I like the young side of the team, so they'll be all right. But 73 points is all I have, and then poor Ottawa. Good grief, these poor guys.
I hope they have just such a low key season with no drama and nothing going on, no crazy trades. They just exist in silence.
That's really
that could be the best thing for them.
I agree. Ottawa looked pretty good in the preseason game against Montreal on Saturday night. They won 3-0 or something, but preseason games don't mean a whole lot. I think that Ottawa, just after the season they've been through, and more particularly the off-season they've been through, with all of the drama, is just, like you say, I agree with you. I think it's time for them, and I hope they do just have a year to catch their breath. It's pretty hard to catch your breath when you're playing 82 hockey games still, and you have to try to be competitive and bring people into the seats at home, but they don't need any more drama.
Very well said. A year to catch your breath. Good way to put it. How many points?
I have them down for 64 points.
Okay. Well, you're going to find this very interesting.
Am I?
Our Atlantics are so close. There's only one thing that's different.
Okay.
So I have Toronto, actually.
Do you?
In number one. That was the only difference.
Wow.
I have Toronto in first with 110 points.
Okay.
I think they're just going to kill it in the regular season.
Yeah.
2, I have Tampa with 104. So
okay.
That was literally, that's the only difference in our thing.
Okay.
And 3rd, I have Boston with 102. We were close on that.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth, I have Florida with 100. We were only off by 1 point there.
All right.
Fifth is Buffalo with 96. So I have them
Wow.
with basically 14 more points than you.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
I hope I am right, too.
I hope Buffalo does do that well. It'll be close to
I
the
want to
last
see them
wild
do
card.
well. Yeah.
That would be great.
Montreal,
Great
we were
for the city.
kind of similar. I had them in 6 as well, but I had them with 85 points. I think they're even
Okay.
going to do it just a little tiny bit better than people think.
All right.
Mainly due to Carey Price. I think he's going to have a bounce back here.
I hope so.
Next, I have Detroit, same as you. I had them at 83. I think you had them at 73.
Correct.
And last, I have Ottawa at 70. And so nothing in the 60s for me.
Yeah.
But
Good stuff.
so we don't agree a lot,
No.
but it looks like we're pretty close to agreeing on most of the Atlantic there.
Which increases the likelihood that we're both wrong.
And that's right, because like Buffalo, Montreal, Detroit, and Ottawa, one of those teams could be like stupid this year and just get like second out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like it could happen, and that's the thing. Like that's the frustrating part about this,
Yeah.
and it's also the exciting part.
The exciting part. Otherwise, why watch?
Yeah,
If you can look at the rosters ahead of time and do the stats and know who's going to win and be right most of the time, there's no point watching the games.
you can do that in other sports, other professional
yeah.
sports. I won't name the sport, but
Yeah, Manchester City.
I wasn't thinking of soccer. But
I know you weren't.
yeah,
was.
so okay, we've done the Metro, we've done the Atlantic, we're halfway done.
Halfway done.
Next up is the Central, and then the Pacific, and then we do our playoff predictions.
Right
so
on.
if you're not subscribed, I hope you can hit the subscribe button and join us for those, and leave your predictions down below for the Atlantic. Comment on this video, leave your predictions for the Atlantic, make your comment, and don't edit it.
Don't edit them.
Because at the end of at the end of this year, this coming season, I'm going to make a video coming back and reviewing some of the comments and the predictions to see who was closest, and I'll display your comment in the video, and you can have some bragging rights. So
Yeah, and when it says edited, I suppose it's not immediately apparent whether they were edited in April or edited in October.
exactly, I don't know.
So if it says edited, we can't tell that you had your prediction in there for a long time.
Yeah, so just some bragging rights.
Yep.
So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll show you the Central very soon because we're going to release these very quickly. So thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a good day. We'll see you next one. Adios.